What is up, y'all? I just got in from the theater where I saw Anastasia, and I have to talk about it before I forget anything because, I mean, the experience was like phenomenal. It does take the 1997 20th Century Fox animated film. They tweak some things and it is beautiful. Like straight up amazing. It was literally everything I hoped for. I had listened to the soundtrack prior to going and seeing it, and so I had like a kind of idea as to what I was getting myself into. I knew some of the changes that they had made to an extent. There were definitely some other changes that I got to experience firsthand by actually watching the production, but it was just so good. So for anyone who may not be familiar with the story of Anastasia, it's about Anastasia Romanov, where you have Nikolai Romanov, the Tsar that was executed, and that was like the end of the Tsar reign in Russia. So it's the legend that one of his children did survive, and that child was Anastasia. And it's, you know, finding the lost princess. It turns out she had, you know, had a bit of amnesia, and, you know, that's where our story starts in a way. But we still have Dmitri, we still have Vlad, like, it's just a lot of fun. I can't really say anything else without spoiling anything, so here is your warning. Anything else past here is going to have spoilers. Cool? Cool. We're not waiting. In the 1997 animated film, it is Rasputin who is our villain, and he is of the undead. But in this take on Anastasia, we have actually, for starters, he is a human villain. We have Gleb, and he is a comrade, good and loyal comrade. And apparently his father was the one who pulled the trigger. I have never done any like history dive on Anastasia. I just really liked the animated film, and I like any retelling of it for the most part. So I have no idea if this is more true to the historical sense of it, even though Anastasia never survived in real life. But, so we have Gleb, and Gleb has moments that show that he is truly human, besides the fact that he's not of the undead. And by undead, I'm not talking vampire, it's really more zombie. But with Gleb, which is an interesting name to start with, maybe it's Russian, I don't know. With Gleb, the first time that he meets Anya, and this is before there's any suspicions or rumors that are spread around about the possibility of her being Anastasia, he has an interest in her. He is attracted to her, is what it looks like on the stage from where I sat. So maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But then when those rumors start coming around again and he sees who they're about, he lets her go because he has a human heart that has compassion in it. There's no pushing of a romantic line between Anya and Gleb. It just feels more like it's a friendship thing, but there is a connection there. And at first meeting, it looks like more of a romantic interest, but it could just be a platonic thing. We don't know. I do want to say that Ben, I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna butcher your last name, Edquist, I think is how you say his last name. It's what it looks like anyways. He really did such a phenomenal job with the role of Gleb, and I truly enjoyed getting to watch this supposed villain, but he was a very well-rounded villain in the sense that you had an opportunity to have a compassionate heart towards that character. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, he is so bad, cannot stand him, he's the worst kind of villain, how could he ruin such love and happiness and No. Did not exist. it was a moment where you could truly understand him, and that came from the way that he performed, the way that things were written. Like, there was just so many factors that went into it, but Ben did a really good job, and I really, really enjoyed it. So moving on, next I want to talk about is Dimitri. They did tweak Dimitri's story and the part where he crosses paths with Anya before she became Anya. In the 97 animated feature, it's that Dimitri was a kitchen boy and, you know, it was just one of the servants of the house. But in this production, they crossed paths apparently at a parade, and he was just one of the many faces in the crowd. And that's cute, and it's a great way to kind of stir the romantic pot. I don't really know that I care one way or the other which way it was done. Was not mad about it. Willem Butler was stellar, absolutely stellar in the role. Like, literally every single person who was casted in this touring production of Anastasia, so the 2022 national tour, they had such amazing chemistry, and everything just flowed so well, and you just couldn't help but be sucked into what was on stage. Veronica Stern as Anastasia, oh my goodness. Like, from vocals to acting, like just the different acting choices that were made, like, I loved her as Anya. Like, one of the things that can be dangerous about listening to original Broadway cast recordings before you go and see a production is you can get kind of attached to hearing those specific voices. And while I have listened to the Anastasia soundtrack pretty much since, like, pretty consistently since it came out several years back, I don't know, everybody's voice that was on that stage just fit their character, and it matched, if not bettered, the original Broadway cast recording that I had been listening to, and that is so cool. Love that. I think that's where I'm gonna stop, because otherwise we'll be here for a while. But there is a blog post for you that is comparing and contrasting the 97 animated feature with this beautiful, beautiful Broadway production, or theatrical production, whichever way you want to spin that. Much like when I went and saw Newsies a few years back, if you remember that. There might be something around here to take you to it if you're interested. But that's it for me. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share, and I will see you next video. Bye. Don't